podcast. I'm your host, and my name is really John Fisher, but you can call me just John. Today we are diving into a topic that so many students struggle with: how to stop being a people pleaser. The feeling you say yes to everything, you worry about what everyone thinks, and you end up feeling drained and overwhelmed. Overwhelmed, yeah. But what if we told you that you don't have to keep doing this? You can start setting boundaries and putting yourself first. I'm excited to have you, Abdi, and our special guest today. Uh, First, going to share some amazing insights on how to stop being a people pleaser. And welcome to show, Abdi.
Yeah, thank you, John. Hello, everyone. My name is Abdi, and I'm really excited about this topic because I think this is an important case in case you are a student. Because what's interesting about this is that we have to know that boundaries is important, especially when we are adulting.
Okay, awesome. So let's start with the basics. Can you explain what it really means to be a people pleaser, and why do you think so many students, in particular, end up falling into this trap? What do you think about that?
Sure. I think being a people pleaser means you're constantly trying to say yes every time a people or some group of people say ask you to do something, and you constantly say yes, and you don't risk about rejecting it because you maybe have tendencies to that people don't judge you, that you maybe want to be liked by every people. I think it's something like that, as simple that as that you want every person like you. And
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think a lot of students don't realize how much it affects them. And it can feel like you're just being a good friend, but really you're stretching yourself too thin. So, what are some signs that someone might be a people pleaser without even realizing it?
I think it is when they are constantly saying yes and start getting their own priorities forgotten. I think it is when, as an example, when you're having a relationship with someone, it is something. If you are certified as people pleaser, when you didn't know when to set boundaries, when to do your own relationship, and when to say yes to invitation of your friends. So in some case, maybe some people have to lose their own relationship because
Yeah.
this thing.
Okay, now that we know what people pleasing looks like, let's talk about why it's such a problem. Um, why is it harmful to always try to make others happy, especially for students? Can you explain to us?
Maybe sometimes,
Yeah.
in some case, people pleaser who keep constantly saying yes, they are getting burnout. You know burnout?
Yeah,
When,
burnout.
yeah, they don't know what to do. They didn't think what it costs to their life.
Yeah.
I think when people pleasing gets you to the point that you are burning out, you don't know anything else to do in your life, and you're forgetting your own priorities. I mean, every people have their own priorities. Like we have personal dream, personal goals that we have to pursue, and if you keep being a people pleaser, I think it will affect to your personal life.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point, but and it's easy to fall into the trap where you are trying to do everything for everyone else, and but it leaves you feeling empty.
Yeah.
So, how do students start breaking this habit, and what's the first step to stop people pleasing?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think being not being a people pleaser or being a selfish is a completely different statement, right?
Yeah.
For me, being selfish is not
Selfish.
being selfish is completely not in line of not being people pleaser.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to know when to say no every time somebody asks us to do something. For example, you are asking me to do anything, anything to help you. You're asking me to something that I maybe don't like at that time, but because I tend to keep saying yes, I get my own problems, I get my own priorities get collapses. I think it is okay to say no sometimes if you think no, I cannot, I maybe can't do this right now, but can we rearrange? Maybe one day you will ask me to accompany you somewhere. I can say that, I'm sorry, John, I can't do this right now, but can we rearrange it? For example, we can watch a movie next time, next week when I get my own work, one on job get done. I think it is really okay to say that, and it is
Yeah.
not selfish. Have you agree with me?
Yes, I agree. But when you say, "I'm sorry, I can because now I'm busy," right? But after this, you still remind about that. How to
When we start feeling regret, yeah, that is why this is the point I want to highlight. I think sometimes I may have already stated sometimes a few times, but the most important things about stop being a people pleaser is to set a boundaries. You know boundaries, right?
Yeah.
We all have so many friends in our lives, and every time we get along, we tend to understand that we are not going to always be together. We are going to get married in any time in our lives. We are going to have a family at some point in the future. So it is okay to say no when you have to set our boundaries. Maybe we can hang out sometime. When we have the time, or we can say no to the help, because people also have to understand that that the life is not circling in them. Everybody has their own struggles,
Yeah.
and we are trying to understand it as we are growing adult. We're growing an adult, right? And for me, the most important thing is when you are not busy, when we are available, you are you are having your best moment with your friends. For me, it's not the quantity; it's the quality of the time. So if you're saying that you are being selfish and you are not a good friend if you reject an invitation, or reject to say no, it's not completely true, because we have to know that us is also important. Saying no to other people's invitation doesn't make us any less selfish. I
Yeah.
think that's not a good way of thinking.
So what do you think about their opinion and suppose that you are selfish because you reject their invitation?
For me, I can assume that people, what can we say in English? Yeah. We cannot control other people's opinion,
Yeah.
right? We cannot please anyone. That's it.
We cannot please
Yeah,
anyone.
we cannot please anyone. So why don't we try to look and deep think it with our perspective? Is this really good if I always say yes to every invitation of hanging out from my
Yeah.
friends? Is it really good for my future goals or anything? We have to set the boundaries. We have our own plans, so we couldn't make ourselves regrets in the future, right?
Yes.
Because regrets always came late.
Yeah, came late.
Yeah.
Regrets came late. Okay, I agree. Okay, that's such a great point, and it's all about taking that moment to pause before automatically agreeing. And so, what's the next step after recognizing your worth?
I've said it before, if I'm not mistaken. um, if it's me, I'm going to say no, and I'm going to ask my friend a question like this. I'm sorry, I cannot today, but can we arrange it? Or I'm sorry, I cannot go today, but if I have the time, can you watch movie again with me? If that's the case, I think by saying that, our friend would find us that we plan the quality time with them.
Yeah.
That we also care for them. It's not rejecting because we are being selfish or don't
Yeah.
want to be friends anymore. It's because we want to prioritize our problems and continue being a good friends by a good communication. I
Yes.
think the important thing is the communication way.
Okay, boundaries are hope, right?
Yeah.
And it's something a lot of people struggle with, but it is essential for protecting your well-being.
Yeah.
How can students get more comfortable saying no without feeling guilty? Okay, that's such a great reminder. It's about finding the balance between caring for others and taking care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
So, what's the final piece of advice and you give the students who are trying to stop people pleasing?
One of the most important things I want to highlight is to practice the self-compassion for ourselves. If we try to care about ourselves, I think we have to prioritize and be more self-compassion to us. We have to understand what is our main problem in our life. Is that is the problem really be solved if we always meet with our friends?
Mhm.
If we don't have time to think about it, imagine what would our life be in that point of time. And then I would like to share that this is the example. My mother has passed away 3 years ago. I think by having this experience with my mother 3 years, I think I can say that being an adult is a long journey. So if you keep remembering such a little things like, am I going to be selfish by doing this? No, it's not like that. People just came and go, no matter what kind of effort you try to do. When their time in your life has to end, it has to end. It has to end at that time, at that moment. So the most important thing is you have to value every moment, every meetings, every little thing that you share. It's about the quality, not the quantity. I think that's all from me. And from my point of view, you shouldn't worry about such a little things.
Okay, I'm really sorry to hear your experience that your mom has passed away 3 years ago. It's great advice for us, Abdi, and it's so important to be patient with yourself and recognize that his change takes time. And thank you so much for being here today and for your story and sharing all this valuable insight. Thank you so much to Abang Abdi Dzil Ikram for being
Thank you,
on
John.
the show today, and thank you to everyone listening. I hope today's episode helped you feel more empowered to stop people pleasing and start setting boundaries in your life. Remember, you deserve to take care of yourself. Okay, that's all for today's, and see you guys.